Two.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Doris Hall James Indie Show. This afternoon, I am honored to bring you our special guest, the legendary Winston Gay, and his wife, Teal. How are you?
Fine, thank
We're
you.
good,
And,
we're good.
you know, as per us being here, thank you very much for allowing us to come.
And I want to thank you for accepting my invite because it is truly an honor to have both of you here with me. A husband and wife team. It's an honor. In fact, you're the first husband and wife team that I've interviewed.
Yeah, this is a milestone.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
it's the first, and it's really great. When I met you a couple years ago, I was impressed with all the musical gifts God has given you. I was really, because you do so many things. I was impressed.
Thank
And
you.
I was impressed with Teal because of her support and her knowledge that she gave you in helping out with your career.
Hmm.
So I want to say congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, because we only have like 45 minutes, we want to get right into this interview.
Yes.
And I always say, let's travel. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. So how did all of this begin?
Well, musically speaking,
Yes.
as with any profession, you hear something or you see something. Something titillates one or all of your five senses,
Yes.
and you respond to it.
Mhm.
If it's cooking, let's say, you usually will, you'll smell something, you'll see someone else make something, and that
Okay.
will
I follow
spur
you.
you on.
Yeah.
And so, with me, it was music.
Okay. Now, Winston, what age were you when you found out that music was what you wanted to do? About what age was that?
I think I was about 14 years old, and I felt that I had started too late because most of the people that I had either heard about or read about had started when they were 3 years old.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I felt I'd started too late.
Mhm.
And years later,
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm still doing it.
You're still doing
Yeah,
it.
so I don't feel that way.
Yeah, and you've
Yeah.
been very successful in doing it.
I've seen and done a lot of things, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I read, like I thought I knew a lot of things that you've done, but then when I checked up, I said, oh, I didn't know this, and I didn't know this, let me add this and this. So you did many more things, and I'm sure people don't know all the things that you've done. So we want to hear that. But my question to you, Teal, is that were you into music before you met Winston at all?
I like to listen.
You like to listen to music?
I can't play a note.
Mm-hmm.
If you heard me sing, you'd ask me to stop. So,
Okay.
Let the record show that I did not say that.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
my speaking voice,
Mm-hmm.
I've been told by other musicians, is musical.
Okay.
However, my singing voice is not. So, anything musical
Mm-hmm.
that has to be produced
Mhm.
is from him.
Okay.
And I'm there kind of like the cheerleader
Mm-hmm.
because the majority of what he creates, I listen to and I enjoy.
Okay.
And the things that I don't enjoy or I have, honey, why don't you do this or say it that way? He'll look at me, you don't know music. No, but I like to listen. And
The
that's,
things that she doesn't enjoy, I write anyway.
yes,
Right. Right.
yes, he does. So,
Yeah.
no, I'm not musical at all.
Okay. Well, you're both from Philadelphia.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I did
Let's go.
spend 10 years in Los Angeles.
And you were playing out there. What were
Uh,
you doing out there?
Yes. Yes, but that's another movie.
Okay. Okay, but
Yeah.
you're from Philadelphia. What part of Philadelphia?
West Philadelphia.
Oh,
Yeah.
right here in my territory.
Mhm.
Huh? Okay, now, how did you meet?
Well,
how'd you meet?
That's funny.
Tell me that story.
I'm not from West Philadelphia. I'm from West Mount Airy.
Okay, I used to
And-
live up there too.
Okay.
Okay.
And we met in church.
Good.
I
Good.
was usually, when I'm in church, when I'm worshiping the Lord, because I do dance and move,
Uh-huh.
I'm in the back
Okay.
dancing.
All right.
And the
Okay.
first time that I was worshiping the Lord in the back of the church,
Uh-huh.
and the Holy Spirit told me to stop
Okay.
and to look at the people who walked in the door. And when I did, it was Winston and his family.
Okay.
And I said, okay. He said, I want you to pray for them. And I did. I started praying for them. And from then on, I went back to mind my own business. And
And that's a long story.
yeah, it is a long
That's- that-
story.
and that's another movie
It sure is.
on another network.
Well, that's a good place to meet.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
That's a good place.
It is a good place to meet.
And that was 21 years ago.
Has it been that long?
It's been that long. Hmm.
Oh, okay now. But so when you started at 14,
Hmm.
and tell me about that journey up to now. Tell me about the journey, how you move forward.
You move forward as many of the old adages say, 5 will get you 10.
Okay.
You just do one thing, and then you open your hand and you realize that now you've got 3 things.
Transferable skills.
Right, and then
Yeah,
you just do
Okay.
them, and each thing that you do
Mhm.
opens up a door to a new place.
Mm.
And so finally you find out that whereas you were at square one and you saw certain vistas, now you're at square 3 and there's a whole new set of vistas and things to do.
Mhm.
And
that's-
so one
that's
thing
the
leads
truth.
to another.
That's true.
Yeah.
But so when you started at 14 years old, then who did you play with? Did you go to school? What happened?
Well, let me
to get
backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
I was inspired to pick up the guitar. Actually, when I was in high school, or junior high school, junior high school, or maybe even elementary, I saw someone play what's called an instrument called an auto harp,
Okay.
and it's a strange looking instrument. If you look it up, auto harp, AUTOHARP. And you take a plectrum and it lays flat, and you press a key down and you strum across it, and it sounded so pretty and it was so compact. And I said, boy, this is really cute. And I never thought about it. Years later, I was one of my buddies. I was over his. We were in the same house or something, and I saw an electric guitar player seated and playing an electric guitar. And the sound was coming out from across the room where he had his amplifier plugged
Amplifier,
in.
yeah, okay.
And that was the first time
Uh-huh.
I've seen someone play something here and the sound came out over there.
Okay.
And so that kind of, I was befuddled and enthralled at the same time. And I said, boy, Mom, can I get a guitar? And one thing led to another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after you got that guitar and you knew that you fell in love with this was the instrument you wanted to play. So was that right? Or
You
how
know
did
what?
that
When I
work?
first, I didn't know how to play it. I didn't know what to do. As a matter of fact, when my parents bought it for me, and we were coming home in the car, it got knocked out of tune. Not only that, but I didn't know what the tuning pegs were. I didn't know about the instrument at all. So I started turning. I said, "Ooh, these turned," and I kept turning them. I said, "Boy, it's getting tighter and tighter."
Oh.
And I think I popped 3 strings before we got home. And when I got home, I said, now what do I do? And so I wound up tuning my guitar in a way that was not standardized. And I continued to learn that way.
Okay.
I'm self-taught for the most part. And then along the way, I bought some books. And I taught myself how to read and write music, how to interpolate music.
Okay.
Ironically, and maybe curiously, the first music book I bought was not a book for guitar. It was a book for drummers.
Oh, they're hard to find too.
And I wanted to, because I wanted to learn
Drummers
rhythm.
hard to find. Yeah.
I wanted to learn how to interpret rhythm. And then one thing led to another, and so ask me.
Okay. Okay. And so when that was done and you had your guitar and everything, I always wish I could play the guitar. I pretend I can, but I can't. But as you moved on through your career, now, who did you work with? I've read where you've worked with many other Philadelphia artists. Let's talk about some of the artists you worked with.
For the most part, you're going to work with people, or wind up working with people within proximity. Okay.
I agree.
Or
Right.
locally. Okay. And so, wow.
Well, was Harold Melvin? Was Harold Melvin?
Yeah, I worked with Harold Melvin and a guy named. There's so many people on the list that people that are not on the list.
Gene Carn. I remember Gene Carn.
I worked with Gene Carn through the legendary Dexter Wansel.
Dexter Wansel.
And I've worked with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes and the Stylistics, and before them the Flamingo 75.
Yeah, that's what we were talking
Pookie Hudson
about,
and the
yeah.
Spaniels, the Times, the Orlans,
Okay.
South Street, yeah.
Menagerie.
And
what's
Garnet
the
Mims.
Yeah, Glass Menagerie.
Glass Menagerie.
Yeah.
That was a
Garnet
group.
Mims.
That was a group, a local group actually that was formed as a backup group behind a wonderful vocalist who went by the name of Candy Ray.
Candy Ray.
Yes,
Okay.
and she was a local artist, and the 4-piece band behind her. Well, she wound up going out to Los Angeles, and she stayed too long, and so we, as a band, we banded together,
Okay.
and hence the Glass Menagerie. Yeah.
Well, you have a unique way of playing your instrument. And because of that, and I'm asking, but I'm also saying, it enabled you to enhance like others, it's their music when you played behind them. It enhanced the music that they had. Is that true?
Well, it's true in part.
Okay.
Before, now remember, this was in the 60s, 1960s.
Okay. I know.
And we're telling our ages.
No, I don't remember
I'll be 40 in a
60s.
couple weeks. I'll be 40 in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Right? You?
Let's not go
Okay.
there. Okay.
And so I had developed a personalized flair as a guitar player back then that people seemed to like. Just adding ornaments to chord voicings, and people seemed to cotton to that. And so they hired me, to enhance their music. But then, in the early 1990s, when modern technology allowed me to transfer my guitar into what's called MIDI.
MIDI.
MIDI standing for, it's an acronym standing for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. And so that allowed me to actually turn my guitar into virtually any sound in the orchestra at my fingertips.
Okay.
And many keyboard players do
Yeah,
that. You know, they
yeah,
install
yeah,
that
they
in
do that.
keyboards, but never for a guitar.
Mhm.
And so I jumped on that, and when I did, I stayed with it. I stayed with
All
it,
right.
and kind of I didn't perfect it because it's not a perfect. You know, there is no artificial instrument that can best the real thing.
Right. Well, we understand that because, like
Yeah.
you said, it's always on the keyboard.
Yeah.
And like Gilbert and I, we're songwriters. That's
Mhm.
one of the things that we do. And we use the instruments.
Mhm.
We do it digital, use the
Mhm.
instruments from out of the keyboard. But when we bring in some of the actual,
right. The live
instrument,
right.
it changes. Just like
Mhm.
it was a
Mhm.
song we did. I can't remember the name of it, but we needed a different sound.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And we brought in Winston.
Mhm.
And he gave us that sound.
Mhm.
And it turned the song into a different, like a smooth something.
Mhm.
It took us somewhere that we weren't.
Mhm.
And it was great.
Mhm.
So I understand that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Every sound, because
Mhm.
sound is such a malleable thing.
Yeah.
Every sound incites, if you would, or unearths a different emotion or mental state in human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to add part of the talent that he has is to be able to take whatever it is that he hears from someone else and add that extra little oomph, just like you were explaining,
Mhm.
to enhance whatever it is that
That they're
the other
doing.
artist is doing.
Mhm.
And he may not realize it himself, but standing from a listening point of view,
Mhm.
you can hear the difference
Mhm.
that he brings when he brings whatever it is that he adds to the music.
You are very supportive. Hey, hey,
Yeah,
hey, hey.
yeah,
You are
I am.
very supportive.
You know what?
That's
but
right.
That's
right.
as it should
Uh-huh.
be.
Yeah.
Anything you bring to the table is as it should be.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's really good. So now when you played for these artists and you traveled, let's talk about your travel experience, okay?
You
Let's
know,
talk about
I'm glad that you brought that up. Somewhere I read that, or I heard that travel is the enemy to prejudice.
Okay, explain that.
Mhm,
Explain
mhm.
that.
And that just means that most of us live in a localized setting, and
Yes.
don't get the opportunity. We don't
Right.
get the opportunity to travel any
Right.
further than the grocery store or our present needs
Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
will
yes,
supply. And
Yes.
so
yes.
when you get the opportunity to travel to different lands, different countries, or different parts of the world, you realize that the differences in other ethnicities and other cultures, but you
Customs,
also
yeah,
in customs, yes, but you also realize the similarities,
Yes.
and it's those similarities that bridge and destroy the prejudice
Mhm.
that you may harbor, and we all basically harbor a little bit. You know, we may not admit to it, but we all do, and it's kind of okay. It's an environmental thing.
Well, Winston, since you've been doing your career, it's like on your own, like on a solo, kind of thing. Have you been traveling with just Winston Gay?
No. Well, yes and no.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that, actually, traveling more extensively. But I packaged like the legendary Herb Smith, James
Yes.
Herb Smith,
Yes,
that was
yes.
on not
Yeah.
too long ago.
Yes, yes.
I've packaged, and he's a great friend of mine.
Yeah.
We've written together and everything. I've packaged my solo performance for localized venues. You know, when I
Okay.
say local, I say within the tri-state area. Here on the East Coast in the United States, which is Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, right? However, I'm getting ready to assemble again a musical ensemble,
Okay.
whereas my original compositions can be interpreted in a much broader way. Because truth be told, even though people call me the one-man band,
Yeah, the one-man band, yeah.
I've only got two hands. And I try not to have my rig set up in a mechanical way.
Yeah.
I don't have tracks per se, because tracks, and I'm not, those who have tracks, that's fine. But for me, a pre-recorded track limits me to only creating within the length of that track. If the song is 5 minutes, by 4:59, I better be out of there.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
if at 4:58 I'm feeling something and I want to carry it on, or someone in the audience says, "Man, can you keep it going?" I can't. You can't do that with the track.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You're confined, if you would, to the confines of that track, and so I don't use tracks per se.
Well, you're a one-man band kind of, and you're on your own. You
I
know?
can give you 5 parts or 4 parts as a one-man band.
Okay.
I can give you a bass player that I am in control of, a drum. What?
Yeah.
A drummer, okay, a guitarist,
4-piece rhythm section.
a violin section,
Okay. Okay.
and with that guitarist, I can give you an acoustic baby grand piano and a vocalist, which is me.
Okay.
So I can bring 5 players to my one-man band sound canvas. And it's taken a while to do that. It's not something you can do overnight. I learned how to do it.
Well, when you talk about the one-man band and you talk about the vocalist, you can you sing in 3 octaves, right? Three octaves. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yes.
But off camera, what we were discussing off camera on that point was that, you know, people say, "Oh, 3 octaves, that's great." But
Right.
it depends on musically where you start.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I start down here, then no, that was a prescribed guttural sound, ladies and gentlemen. That was not accidental.
So it depends on the octave that you started in.
Absolutely, it depends on where you start. So you know, it's all relative. Is what I'm trying to say. 3 octaves is relative.
And that's what you can do. So now you have the creativity to do all kinds of things to a
Yes.
song,
Yes.
right?
I enjoy it.
You don't have to just
yes.
stay in one octave. You can do tenor, and like you can go from maybe a C3 to C5. You can do all that. Okay, so
I had a
that's-
C5 in my lower lumbar platelet in 19. No, I'm just.
No, but that's really, you know, that's really creative to be able to do all that.
Yeah, I didn't start out that way. It was something I learned how to do through adverse circumstances where I'd be in a group and then I'd be playing behind a group of singers, and then maybe at the last minute one of the singers got sick or something, and if that singer happened to be a
okay.
tenor, they'd say, "Well, hey, we need a tenor voice for
And
that."
you just jump right in.
And they said, "Winston, can you do a tenor voice?" I said, "I don't know. Let's try and see what happens. You know, or let's do a soprano, or let's do an alto, or let's do a baritone."
Okay.
And surprisingly, when you try, things can come together if you try. You know, Sylvester Stewart Sly wrote
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You can make it if
Yeah,
you try.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great lyrics.
But he also practices.
Oh,
And that's the key.
practice.
Yes.
Whew, is
He
that a key?
practices.
That's a key.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, no pain, no gain.
That's right.
You have
That's
to
right.
practice. And as a young boy, I had the opportunity to practice a lot because we weren't that well at home growing up, and so all we did was I had a lot of time to practice, put it that way, and with me, it spilled off into junior high school and high school. I would bring my guitar to school, which there were no rules saying that you could not bring a non-orchestral instrument to school.
Yeah.
And so since those laws or rules were not in place, I took advantage of that and brought my guitar with me everywhere I went. Everywhere.
That was great. That's great. And now, like,
to the chagrin of many.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, when we first got married, he would bring his seriously and funny. He would bring his guitar into our bedroom, and
he was going to serenade you?
No.
Oh.
To practice.
And being the person that I am, I said, we need to have a little conversation.
Yeah.
And he said, why? What? Now he's
That's so funny. You're playing while you're talking,
yeah.
right?
And I said, sweetheart, you're bringing
the wrong string, honey.
you're bringing the guitar to bed. I tell you what, either the guitar or me. You choose.
Oh.
And he said, well, what am I going to do about guitar? I said, I tell you what, how about we make a room for your guitar?
Okay.
Can I visit my room all the time?
He visits his room. Okay? So I got to stay in our bedroom, and the guitar got to go to its own room.
But for the most part, a human being, let me reverse that. For the most part, an inanimate object cannot do what a human being can do.
Thank you.
BAM!
Thank you.
And that's all I'm prepared to say at the moment.
That's good stuff.
So practice, and it's a lot, working things through, okay, because even though I don't play an instrument, I have a great number of tools.
Yes,
Because,
you do.
Yes, I do. And we work, my tools have their place, his instruments have their place.
And it fits all in together.
Yes.
It makes it a whole piece.
She's a creative. Yes, it does. She's a creative person in her own world. That's all. That's all it is. And you know what? Let me tell you a great truth. All of us are creative in our own world, in our own way. Or as they say, God didn't make no junk.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone is creative, but you've got to apply yourself.
I want you to say that again, and I want you to talk to Facebook fans and friends and repeat that.
Facebook fans.
Okay.
Number one, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. We appreciate the time that you're spending with us right now. And we like to spend time with you. Anything that you attend to, regardless, whether it's musical, whether it's non-musical, in any genre, anything that you do in life, you must attend to it. It's not going to do itself. And it sounds like a very simple statement, but it's something that goes across the board in life. You have to spend time with that thing that you put your hand on, that you want to do in life.
And I see here my cousin, Jessica Lorraine Stanley. She has tuned in, and she is so creative. Now, she's an artist,
Graphic artist? What
Yes.
type of artist?
Now, I don't know. She draws all kinds of things, all kinds of people. You tell me. Jessica, can you answer that? Key it in for me. And she can draw you. She can do any
Guess
kind
what?
of thing.
Guess what? Guess what? Funny you should say that. My first love was not music. My first
Was
love
art?
is actually art. As a matter of
Ah.
fact, I was an art major. As a matter of fact, I got a 4-year scholarship to Philadelphia College of Art. I was the best in my class.
Why?
And
why
then the
did
best
you leave
in-
that out?
Pardon me?
You gave it up? Do you
I gave
still
it.
do any of it?
You know what? That was one of the mistakes that, in hindsight, I wish I had taken the 4-year scholarship.
Yeah.
But the good thing about that is that all the creativity that would be on a canvas is in music. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. It's the same thing. It's a musical color palette. It's the same thing.
Well, she has set a date for herself to come up with her paintings, and I think it's the middle of March. So, Jessica, we're going to be looking for your paintings to be displayed, and we're going to be supporting you.
Yay, Jessica! Yay!
And now, when we talk about, you're now doing Christian music. I want to hit that in a minute.
Not exclusively. I do it, and only perhaps a certain contingent of what's called the body of Christ will understand this. I only do Christian music as I am led to do it. I don't just go and peddle it on every street corner. I don't do that. But I've been doing that for at least several decades now.
Oh, really?
But not everywhere and not all the time. And so yes, I know how to bring forth music ministry.
Okay, well that's good, because nowadays, well, it started years ago, but a lot of gospel music or inspirational music, Christian music, is being played, and it's a lot of downloading going on, and now you can get tracks, you know.
Yes.
So in church, I know in church, I play in this church in Morton, Pennsylvania, and I play one Sunday a month, and I'm not the greatest piano player, but I try. So I'm trying to play piano, and I'm trying to conduct the choir, and it's just overwhelming. It's too much, you know. So lots of times we'll use the tracks, and then it enables me to conduct the choir, and it works much better. So all those things now are available to us. That's great.
Right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Also, what's it been, about 13 years now? I did a CD maybe 15 years ago, and I entitled it "My God Loves You," and it's a whimsical piece of work. They're all original songs, and it it was so whimsical that the local churches in the religious community kind of
shied away from it.
They shied away from it. They was like, hey, you know, it's too, you know, it's too non-stoic.
Right.
It's too, you know, it's too.
Non-stoic.
It's too worldly. It's too.
It's eclectic. It's an eclectic mix of, I'll say, a spiritual expression of music.
It's very me. It's
Yes,
very.
it
It's
is
very.
very
You know, it's very me. It's very me. I'm serious though. It's a very. And
It is
and it will
serious.
minister to you.
Okay.
It will minister to you. But most people in the not.
It's inspirational.
It is
It is,
inspirational.
yes.
Most people in the, I'll say many, people in the religious, in the Christian religious community, kind of have an issue with if you say, I have a personal relationship with the creator of the universe.
Yes, yes, yes.
And they take issue
Yes.
with that, and so the "My God Loves You" CD it's very whimsical, as if I have a personal relationship with which I do, and so it's hard for them to understand my point of view, and but that's not everybody.
No.
That's
Children
only.
love it.
Oh yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
that something?
Children love it.
I do my
Children
voices and
are
everything.
really
I do my voices and
Because you do things, you have workshop with with a group when my sister was there. Was it kids?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my
I
sister-
work. I love kids.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I love him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
my sister was telling me about his work. Thank you for letting Deborah come on the show. That's my sister, and she plays piano. And
Deborah
thank you.
Hampton.
So
not
Watson.
Hampton. Watson.
She's
Deborah
the only one
Watson.
that has our maiden name. But she was telling me about what he did and how she enjoyed working with him and everything.
She did a good job.
Mm.
She did a good job. I mean, I put her on the spot.
Yeah.
You know, as a matter of fact,
She was so happy.
She
That's
a little earlier on, she kind of called me and said, Winston, I don't think I'm going to do that. Okay. And I said, come on. It'll be totally awesome. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. And I goaded her into
Okay.
it. I backed her up into a corner, and she finally conceded to do it.
Okay.
And she had a great time, and she did a good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, together, you guys work so well together. I mean, was this relationship hard to create? How did this togetherness come about? Because, like, I asked some questions about the wife and the supportive spouse, and how did that happen, or did it happen, or did it not happen? And I got some funny comments about that. But with you two, how did it come together again, and how do you feel about this working relationship that you have?
Here's the thing, and I want you to chime in on this too.
Okay.
Here's the thing. If you're on Gilligan's Island,
Yes, yes.
okay, guess what? You have to, and if you're on that island, now let me put it this way. If the papers are signed and you're married, you might as well work together,
Yeah.
you know, because if she worked in a field that I could not relate to
Yeah.
or contribute to,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't be long before there'd be animosity,
Right.
there'd
yes,
be
I agree
friction.
with that.
And so it behooves us to work together. Now it doesn't mean that we always agree. We don't always agree.
Okay.
And sometimes there is
Okay.
friction. Okay? And that's fine. That's okay. But it behooves us to work together to a common goal. Because it's going to benefit both of us.
Yeah.
Because truly, one, we're married.
Gilligan's Island.
That's right. And two, we're not enemies.
Right.
So, being that we're not enemies, that would mean we're friends, at least friends, friendly,
Or cordial.
right, cordial to each other.
How are you today?
And one of the things that we decided a long time ago, whether it was work or our personal relationship, not to go to bed angry with each other. And there have
Bringing that
been,
bedroom thing into the thing, the
It-
guitar and the bed.
you know, it has a lot to
It's
do.
all together.
It really does.
It makes the relationship.
You learn where
right?
to put the guitar.
That's right.
You're funny.
So, not going to bed angry makes it so you have to work out whatever differences there are before you go to bed.
What's that, 23 hours or something?
No, because you know,
7.5
I
hours?
sleep 8 hours. So, I have to have my 8 hours. So, we have worked it out so that we're not, there's no contention when we go to bed.
And don't you think it behooves both of you to create this working relationship, because then you give your best, he gives his best. You collaborate in different things, and you come out with a win-win situation.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
One of my
Yes.
nicknames.
Yes.
Win-win situation?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's a
Yes.
great nickname.
Yes.
So you come out with this, and some of our youngsters out there, or younger entertainers out there, our advice to you, as far as your spouse working with you, is what? What can we tell them?
I would say, one, get your ego and your feelings out of the way.
Which is very hard to do if you're
Yes.
a creative person.
Yes, it is. And both of us are creators. It's just my idea and his idea don't always meet.
Right.
So when you take your egos out of the way
Mhm.
and you listen to the other person, okay, is this what you want? No, that's not what I want. I want this,
Mhm.
but not that. Okay, let me redo it. And you redo something.
Mhm.
Is this what you want? Yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay, but it comes from listening. You have to listen. You have to communicate.
Right. Communication.
And you can't.
Like a do-over.
Yes. You
A do-over.
Yes, you get a lot of do-overs. And because I'm more serious than he is, it took a little bit of me being able to step back and go, okay,
Okay.
I need to be able to ignore the things that irritate the mess out of me because that's who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mhm.
And
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
I'm going to say your part.
Can you
And
clarify
he-
that?
Yes. And then he takes the things that I do that irritate him and he ignores that part.
Okay.
It's an 80-20.
Okay.
You work on that 80% and you leave the 20%, the stuff that really irritates you. You put that over here and leave it alone.
Okay.
We need to be in time for our counseling session after this. So can we roll it?
Yeah. Let's keep
Yeah,
going.
let's keep it moving.
Okay. Hi, Sidonia. How you doing? Oh, glad to see you join in. That's my longtime friend from years and years ago.
Sidonia.
Yeah.
Hey, Lisa dropped in too.
Lisa was in. Okay. Now let's talk a bit.
Lisa Shavu.
Shavu was in.
Hi,
Okay.
Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Lisa Shavu.
So let's talk a little bit about, because time's running by. We want to get into our books.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's talk about the 3 books that you and Teal have written. Let's talk about them and give Facebook fans and friends an idea what they're about. Okay.
Okay, the latest book that I wrote is called. First, let me start by saying this: all of the graphics that you see were originally my brainchild. However, Teal made it happen. I could not have done these graphics by myself. As a matter of fact, she taught herself
Yeah.
how to do these graphics
Good.
and made it happen.
Yes.
Okay, I could not have brought these covers, the cover photo, and all that by myself. All right, so yay! Thank you
Okay.
very much.
And a little
You're
bit
welcome.
about this. particular-
The latest book is called The Monster Vocalist Manual. They are all 3 manuals. The latest one, and you asked me this earlier on about the word monster.
Yeah. What was it named?
Why did I say monster? Well, some years ago, the term monster along musical lines just meant someone who did what they did very well.
Okay.
You know, now
Okay.
they'll say,
Yeah,
oh,
I
you're a
can
beast.
understand.
You're a
Okay,
beast.
okay, I understand.
You're a beast. Okay. And so, hence that term monster.
Okay.
All right. This is 389 pages. It talks to people who use their voice not just as singers.
Right.
Okay. It talks to people who use their voice. If you're an auctioneer, if you're
That's
if you're an
interesting.
announcer, if you're a meteorologist. Okay. However.
Spokesperson.
Pardon
Radio
me?
personality.
spokesperson.
Yeah, that's good.
However you use your
Yes.
voice, this speaks to that person as
Okay.
to and as it says on the bottom, how to maximize your vocal potential.
Okay.
And it's the most, as I say, it's the most magnanimous of all 3 of the books.
Okay.
And I recommend this book for all vocalists everywhere.
Okay. And let me get those 2. Okay. And next we have the Songwriter's Manual. Okay. Which I know a lot of musicians and singers, they they're very creative and they write
Yes.
songs and then they put them in one of those ASCAP or BMI and publishing and hey, right?
Oh, you know
Let's tell
what?
me
Yeah.
about that.
All right. Can I backtrack really fast? Okay. The Monster Vocalist Manual. I just want to do a very quick run through of the contents.
Okay.
Okay. The voice and how it works. Warm up and practice. You are a musical instrument. Power singing. Scatting and riffing, March of the Falsettos, March of the Penguins, March of the Falsettos, increasing your range, ear training, reading for commercials and or scripts, some tips on reading music, those wonderful cartoon voices, the United States, a tapestry of styles, the role of the background vocalist, live performance or in the recording studio,
That's a good point.
microphone etiquette, presentation, editing yourself, how to frighten, stage fright, making it, which is the biggest chapter in that book, because making it has a different connotation for different people.
Yes.
And then lastly, some vocalist do's and don'ts.
Okay.
All right? That's
There's a
that.
lot in that book.
Yeah, it's 389
This
pages.
This is like a business of itself. You can
Yes.
start your own
Yes.
business. Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
The Monster Songwriters Manual goes down to the bare bones of what is a song. As a matter of
Yes.
fact, the content says what is a song, the ingredients of a song, the alphabetical song format, a reason to rhyme. When you rhyme, you better have a reason. All right? Building a song in 7 steps, making lemonade out of a lemon, contrast, clarity, and communication, subject matters and title ideas, caution, slang alert, mightier than the sword, unblocking, writer's block, the marriage of music and lyrics,
That's good.
gifts,
Billy.
abilities and talents, lifestyle and longevity, which I included in all 3 books. I talk about lifestyle and longevity. Certainly, we've lost within the past 10 years many celebrities who would be around today had their lifestyle
Been different.
been different.
Yeah.
Okay, good word.
Okay. Okay.
Performing live and in the studio. All right.
Okay. And then we have. Was this the first
That
one?
was the first one.
Okay.
Yes, the Monster Musician's Manual.
Okay.
And some of the contents are how to do it, how to be a monster, so to speak. How to be really good at what you already know how to do. Thinking outside of the box. Developing superior practice habits. The performance factor. Using your ego wisely. Playing passionately. Monster soloing. Focusing in. Editing yourself. Rehearsing correctly. Yes, there's a right way and a wrong and a more wrong way to rehearse. Jam sessions. This is a big one. Bridging the vocalist-musician gap.
Yes.
Okay.
I know a lot of musicians. They're lazy. I know a lot of lazy musicians who, when a vocalist comes into their midst, they will not conform to the capabilities of that vocalist.
Play loud.
Okay, so they will put the vocalist in a key that is uncomfortable for that vocalist. That will force them, and because the vocalist doesn't really know music, not all vocalists, but many vocalists don't know music, they will say, "Well, just do it in C." That's all they know, and so that really hurts. It hurts a vocalist to do that. As a monster musician, you should be able to play in any key at any time.
Transpose into any key.
Transpose it to any
Okay.
key. Okay.
And may I interject something? here?
Absolutely.
A musician should, if they have a vocalist sing,
Yes.
you are accompanying them.
That's
you
right.
are the
Playing for
dressing
them.
Yes.
It's all
around them.
Yes, sir.
It's not that you're louder than them.
Yes, sir.
You
It's
know?
all in. It's all in my books.
You want to hear themselves.
It's an etiquette.
Yeah.
For the most part,
Give and
unfortunately,
take, right?
unfortunately, musicians and many vocalists, they don't think about the care of the piece, of the whole piece. If you think about the care of the song and how it's presented, you won't solo for 45 minutes.
Wow.
Because you want to hear yourself play. Because you want everybody to learn to hear all the scales that you've been practicing in your room. Okay.
In one song.
In one song, right? Or anyway, I because of time constraints. Once again, standards of excellence. There has to be a standard of excellence in what you do. If there is no standard, then the real or authentic standard, the bar will be lowered. So low that it's gone. Okay, so there has to be, audience, there has to be a standard by which you do whatever you do. If there is no standard, I'm not talking about something that you think is either mythological or something that's dated or whatever. There has to be a universal standard of excellence. If there is not, then you will do anything, anyway, anytime, anyhow, and that's what it sounds like to me as a musician. And it's just not right. It's not right because you wouldn't want anyone to do something anyhow, anyway to you. So why would you do that to someone else by erasing the standard of excellence? All right. Monsters are mythical characters. I put it's a short. What it really says is that it's a precursor to the next one, which is it's only music. When it's all said and done, it's only music. It's a form. It's a God-given form of creative expression.
Yes.
Okay, I know some people. When I talk to people, they say, "Oh man, music is my life. Music is my life. Cooking is my life. Architecture is my life. Sports is my life." No, it's not your life. It's what you do. Guess what? It's what you do. All right. So, as they say, at the end of the day, it's only music. It's only music. All right. So don't make such a big deal out of it. Buying instruments, don't buy an instrument if you can't touch it and feel it and play it first. Here's a big one. Positive and negative rap music. Let me say that again. Positive and negative rap music. Don't ask me anything else. Read the book. Get the books and you understand what I'm talking about. Now I've got a few non-monster types. Okay? And I'm not saying anything bad. A hobbyist is a non-monster type. Because a hobbyist will only do what they do when it's convenient. A true musician, a monster musician, will make the time to spend with their instrument. They'll make the time to do whatever they really want to do. A few non-monster types are the copycat, novices, the weekend hobbyist, and the squeamish. But I will say this, and I do say this in the book because I don't want to cast aspersions on these non-monster types. If you are a copycat, and I know that we all were copycats, we all have to sing someone else's music
And emulate.
I mean, come on, you're not the originator of music, okay? So we all, and we love to sing other people's music. Other people write some great pieces, and we love to copy them. That's fine for a time, but you've got to find your own sphere. You've got to find your own niche. You've got to find your own voice
That's right.
with music.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, these books can be found. Now, in back of me, they're banners. They have everything all together. They have all their banners and everything.
Thank you, Tom Clark. Thank you, Tom,
Yeah,
Mr.
Tom Clark. Thank you,
the
Tom. He's
guitarist and
he's
educator.
usually here, but
Tom Clark and photographer.
Yeah, he's really great. He's a
Okay,
good
thank
man.
you, Tom. Tom, and let this be known to the world. Tommy did my banners. And I said, "How much do you want? How much is it going to cost me?" He said, "Winston, give me a few guitar lessons
Oh,
and,
okay.
and call it even.
Okay.
Love you, Tom. Thank you so much. I appreciate.
Yeah.
I don't forget stuff like that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, Tom Clark. He was the one who did my logo.
Really?
He put it all together after Brett did it. He was the
Okay.
one that gave me the background and everything to my logo. So thank you, Tom, very
Yeah.
much. And these are beautiful
And
banners.
Tom's a
Yes,
tall
sir.
guy, isn't he?
I never met him.
You never
I
met
don't
him?
talk to him on the phone.
He's so
No,
sweet.
I think he
Yes.
came up to the shop when I had that shop. Yeah, he came up to the shop on 60th Street one time. Yes, I did, but I can't remember. He came up
When
there.
you meet him, he's, hey, Tommy!
Yeah, he
Tommy,
he come
hey!
up to the shop on 60th Street one time
Yeah,
when I had
he's
the
up
shop
there.
up there.
Yeah. God
So,
bless him.
You know, if you need anything, you know, Tom Clark is the
She
man
like
to go to. Okay. All right. Now, where can they get these books?
Online, we will be set up online.
Louder, baby.
We will be set up online very shortly. And right now, if you go online, winstongay.com, to the products page, our phone number where they can call and I can take orders over the phone. Very shortly, I will say within the month, we will have it so that they will be able to just go to winstongay.com and order whatever it is they want to order
Okay.
off the line.
I do want
Okay.
to. I do want to add to what you just said, if I may. These books, the first two books, actually do appear online at certain vendors. However, these vendors, whose name I will not mention, I mean big vendors that we all know, have not been authorized to sell these books. Okay? And that's all we're prepared to say at this time about that.
Okay.
But again, we will say you can get, in other words, you can get the books at this point directly from us. There will be no middleman or woman. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Now, what we would like for you to do, Facebook fans and friends, we would like for you to share this interview, Winston and Teal's interview, with your Facebook family and friends. It only stays on Facebook now for 24 hours, and then it goes to YouTube, and you will subscribe to our YouTube channel to see this video and plus about 35 other venues that were done through the Indie Show. So we want you to do that. But the ones of you that share this video the most, get the most shares, Winston and Teal is offering you a copy of the picture of Winston's picture, which is a beautiful picture, him playing the guitar, and it was taken by Teal. Really beautiful picture. And they're also offering you a copy of their new CD, the Butterfly.
Yes, it is a one song.
One song. And that will be downloaded to your email. Okay? So we will be checking to see who shared this video within the next 24 hours.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's right.
Okay, so we want to have a winner out there, so you can
A
get
win-win situation.
a win-win situation. Okay, they gave a lot of good information to you about being together as a team, about all the things that they have accomplished through this 21 years and before. So we want you to support them and the Indie Show and share this video. And next week we have to go. We have our guest next week is going to be Tamaj G. Conway.
Wow. For real?
Yes, he's a producer, arranger, and a keyboard player from Philadelphia, PA. Okay,
Wow,
so
he's
he will be-
homegrown.
He will be
Yeah.
here next week, but next week our show will be at 8 o'clock p.m. instead of 1 o'clock.
Is that
That
8
sounds
o'clock Eastern Standard Time?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
good.
Yes. Yes.
Good.
What you
Good.
think? I'm gonna say Western time. But okay, so that's what's
Mountain
happening. That's what's happening on
That's
the Indie
happening.
Show. I want to thank you guys for peering and
Josh,
all that good stuff.
Before we actually get out of here, check out one more time over there. We got Shakita and
No, let me see.
Chiquita
Okay.
Green?
I see Douglas. Hi, Douglas. You know you're next. You know that.
It's Doug
Hey,
Payne.
T.
Is that Doug Payne?
Yeah.
Hi, T. How you doing? Let me see. Chiquita. Hi,
Chiquita Green?
I can't.
That's the only
Gardner.
Chiquita that I know.
Gardner.
Chiquita Gardner.
Okay. Now, Chiquita, this is my cousin. I know she is. Hi, Chiquita.
How big is your family? You
I
got
have
a big
I
family.
have a large family, right? And we have T, and we have Douglas Payne. So I want to thank all of you for joining in and supporting the Indie Show. I want to thank Gilbert Lomax Jr. for producing the show and seeing that we do
Tell
this
him he's
thing
a
right.
monster. He's a
Okay.
monster. He's a monster.
And so join us next week. I want to thank you for joining us. And tune in to Facebook Live next Thursday, the 24th at 8 o'clock to hear and see the interview of Tamaj Conway. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having
Thank you.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you.